Alright, hello, my name is Jimmy Haney. I am doing my final project for A Hero's Journey. One thing I wanted to do something a little different. I kind of wanted to do my own personal journey. I think it's very important to kind of see where I came from and what lessons I've been taught and what I've been learned. To the point where I decided to fly down to my hometown in Sacramento, California, to kind of show you different areas with different archetypes. And just how I applied it to my living situations and how I adapted today. So throughout this video shooting, you'll see certain areas of my community where I grew up from. They'll probably have a story why a certain archetype made me the man I am today. So this is just an introduction, and we're going to go ahead and move forward to different places. Alright, so this is the area of Sacramento where I grew up at. And one of the first things I wanted to talk about was just the orphan. I feel like the orphan stage is pretty imperative because my community, a lot of kids didn't grow up having the same parents or dual parent households. So at times there's kids raised by their mothers or either their fathers. And typically one of the quotes that says that the orphan in each of us is inactivated by the experiences with the child feels abandoned, betrayed, victimized, or neglected. So at times kids grew up in this rough neighborhood, and at times it would be rough because they didn't have that guidance from both parents, which leads to why a lot of the kids today growing up having babies before they're married, or getting involved in crime because they didn't have that guidance from their parenting. So this is kind of where everything kind of began. Growing up, I was fortunate and blessed enough to have both my parents involved, so I was able to get that guidance from my mom and dad about doing well in school and staying out of trouble. But this area, a lot of kids don't have a lot of their parents around a majority of the times, which leads to being guided in the wrong directions. It's actually one of my old friend's house over there. He just lived there with his mom recently, but they moved away now. So this here is the Oak Park Community Center, where I've encountered my first warrior archetype. Here, one of the quotes that kind of stick with me to this day is, many people today feel imprisoned or mistreated, not only by their childhood homes, but at many different points in their lives. The challenge is just to learn and live in such environments without becoming like them. So I think throughout the period of time, when I think of the community center, I think of the time I had my first physical encounter. Actually, the guy's name was Maurice. The first time I fought the guy here. He was over here, kind of playing, and this guy Maurice is known as being a bully. Me and my brothers and cousins were having a good time, and he came in and wanted to take our swings for no apparent reason at all, just because that he could. He was a bigger guy, bigger than everybody, and at times we would just let things fly. But we got to a certain age, we realized that this community is more based off the strongest that survives. So if you had a sign of weakness, people take advantage of that, and at times they'll pick on you for no apparent reason. I decided to find instead for me and my family, my brothers and my sisters and my cousins, and I decided to fight this guy. I know it probably wasn't the best thing to do, but I feel like at that age it gave me a sense of accomplishment that I was able to stand up against my fears and fight somebody to a point where I got my own respect in a way, in a sense. So growing up in the inner city community can be rough at times, but it's kind of today, looking around here, you kind of see that it's a nice place, but this is where warriors are born. I feel like at this time, there's one of the many aspects that I had to take with me of being extremely strong, competitive. So this is my second thing I want to kind of talk about. Alright, this is my high school, Sacramento High School here. This is where after I realized my true potential, that I was able to become a part of a lot of different activities on campus. At just that time, I was captain of the football team, student body vice president, in ROTC and everything. And the ruler is something that I feel I experienced a lot in high school because I understood power to a certain degree. I was more of a realist, and I was really different than my peers. So me being put in these powerful positions and able to make decisions on behalf of other people because they trust my leadership and my decisions was a lot for me. I think I carried this on today because now, you know, I'm a manager for a bank. I've been in a lot of organizations on campus as well at ASU. So this kind of made me into the leadership role, and I think the ruler was a big part of that. So if you look around today, it changed a lot, but you know, it really made me into the leader I think I am today as far as leading people in the right directions. So, all right. So this here was probably the most important one I want to speak about. This is the Seeker. This is when I kind of had a turning point in my life at the time. I always knew that I was different than a lot of the other kids here. I had common sense, and I always was really intelligent and I had good grades, but I didn't have the proper guidance as far as, you know, going to college and going to school. This is to a point I met my mentor, Kevin Johnson. He was an NBA player for the Phoenix Suns. The cool thing is he actually grew up in this same community that I grew up and went to the same high school that I did. And once he retired, he decided to come back and get back to his community in Sacramento. And one of the things that he's doing today is he operates a lot of charter schools, K through 12. And also he has a lot of businesses throughout Sacramento, you know, such as, you know, a Guild Theater, Starbucks. He has a couple of apartment complexes and whatnot too. This is actually one of the buildings that we operate and I worked at for the past year after I graduated from high school. I actually wanted to take off a time after I graduated where I joined a program called the Hood Corps program, which is kind of like an inner city Peace Corps where we got to live, work, and worship in the Oak Park community. So we tutored kids, we did street cleanups, we did all the things that I wish I had when I was a kid. Just wanted to get that exposure of helping other people, and it's you're a part of that cycle of support in a sense. So by me adapting and helping out my community, you know, maybe some young kid would see that and be able to be inspired and motivated to do the same thing. So to me, I think the Seeker overall was the biggest, most important influence in my life because I was able to see the true potential of myself and was able to, you know, go to ASU and be one of the first people in my family to actually graduate. And I think my mentor really helped me with doing that. He helped me realize that I can make a change and I can be a big difference in the community if I believe in myself and push myself to my limits. So I think this is something that really speaks to my heart because honestly it wasn't right.